Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Bonsoir, tout le monde, et bienvenue. This is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu, VA3 CJZ, opening the weekly amateur radio exchange group Simplex Net, AREG, for Wednesday, November 29th, 2023. This is week 1576 weeks that AREG has been on the air consecutively. My name is Chuck, and my station is located in East Hamilton. Uh, this net is on every Wednesday night, starting at 8 p.m. and ending around 10 p.m. local time here on 146.430 megahertz. Since this is a simplex net, not everyone will be able to hear everyone else. And so we also stream the net on YouTube. So people who tune in can hear stations they cannot hear on their radio, hear how their audio sounds on the air, and see their signal strength, as well as see my station layout. Just type my call into the YouTube search box, again, VA3CJZ, and tonight look for us live or under the title AREG Week 1576. And finally, we ask that you please leave a 1 second to 2 second delay between transmissions to allow other stations to break in. And with that, may I now have check-ins for this evening's AREG?
VA3 IXJ.
Oh.
VA3 IMW.
Victor Echo 3 Kilo Mike Quebec. V3JGK.
Go Chucky, go Chucky, go Chucky.
Okay. Okay, I heard several stations there. I think I missed one, maybe two. I've got AXJ. I think he doubled with Debbie OYL, and then IMW, and I think it was Kilo Mike Quebec and VA3JGK. Is that right?
Victor Echo 3JGK.
Chuck man, Chuck. VA for NFL. And PDL, please.
All right, got it. Okay, very good. All right, so let's go to the top and say hello to Rick, VA3AXJ. Rick, come on in.
No, ladies before gentlemen. Go ahead there, Deb.
Oh, what a nice guy. Let's go to Debbie.
Oh, thank you. Good evening, all. And it's a cold, chilly night, but not too bad. Looks like a lot of the snow and ice is melted. It will definitely melt tomorrow. So,
Yeah.
haven't been up to much all week. Found out my cat has maybe past stage 4 kidney disease. So, trying to figure out what we're going to do about that and how we're going to treat it. And, let the fun begin.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's terrible. What, you take him into the vet?
Yeah, I took him in for some senior blood panel, so senior blood work. And some of his levels were off, so they said, oh, well, come back for a different test. And, okay, he needs fluids, and he needs this, and he needs that. And it's just to decide what to do. Like, they want to give him IV fluids, like 2 or 3 times a week. Well, I can't afford that.
Wow.
And blood pressure medication and different food and a B12 shot. So I'll do some research on the internet and see what's good, and is it worth it? He's 16 years old, right?
Oh, geez.
Decisions.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Deb. Sounds like you're going to need a full-time vet to administer all the things they're talking about there. Um, yeah, it's hard decision time. So everyone's different, you know. It's so tough to make those calls, but unfortunately, if we don't do them, you know, uh, different outcomes happen. So I wish you the best, and yeah, sorry to hear that, Deb.
Yeah, well, it's a balance act between cost and quality of life for the cat. So, yeah, we'll figure it out. Anyway, other than that, I decided to play a little FT8 tonight, and I got Japan, so I was happy about that. Took my mind off everything, and now I'm on Chucky's net. So here we go. I have something to keep me occupied till 10 o'clock. Back to you. Victor Alpha 3 Oscar Yankee Lima.
Check in with Chuckles.
Yeah, very good, very good. Well, I hope we can entertain you for the 2 hours. That's our goal, to do that for everyone. And yeah, so let's talk about something else here. By the way, Deb, I got a POTA park last week, late last week on the weekend, I think Friday or something. Um, it was the very first park, Kilo 0001. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then a day later, I think I got a new park, brand new park, and I was the 12th contact. I thought I'd make it in for number 10, but the guy couldn't pick me up until 12. And so, but still, it was exciting.
Well, that was quite the accomplishment. Congratulations.
Yeah. By the way, the 01 park is in Maine at the southern tip, right on the edge of all the little inlets or whatever you want to call them there. So interesting. So I guess that's the POTA designation for park number. So it was pretty cool. All right, Deb. So thanks for checking in, and we'll go down the list now. So do you have anything else for us before we move along?
No, listening along.
All right, very good. So we'll clear with Victor Alpha 3, Oscar Yankee Lima, and go back up to Sir Galahad, VA3 AXJ, downtown Rick. Come on in, Rick.
Yeah, good evening, Chuck. Not much to report. Just 2 long days. Needles yesterday. Supper today. You know, same old day. Same old, same old, same old. Other than that, everything's good. Ready for tomorrow. Another busy day tomorrow. So, yeah, get up early and get things done. And I can relax for a couple of days.
Yeah. Oh, very good. Very good. I just found out that I have a trick knee. It's got what do you call it there? Arthritis in it, and it flares up occasionally. But normally I can tell when it's going to rain. My knee starts hurting about a day, maybe 2 days before the rain comes. Like it's crazy. But I found out it works for snow too. The last few days, my knee was hurting, and sure enough, it started snowing.
You know, it's funny, you know. Same thing here. I got arthritis in my hands and my feet. But since I've been getting the steroids for my back, it's helping the arthritis for some reason. But I don't know why, but kind of feels better. And he says, buy that, what do you call that? Voltaren
Voltaren.
cream or something, and rub it on your hands 4 times a day. It should ease it off. So I'm going to try that.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. I think it's called Voltaren. Anytime, like I've had back issues for years, and my wife is always saying, "Oh, put some of that Like, no, I'm not greasing myself up. It's a temporary uh, solution, and it gets all my clothes all oily and sticky. And no, forget it. But yeah, she swears by it.
Yeah, it actually does work, but you're right. It does it gets all over everything. But for the relief of the pain, I think it's worth it. But like you said, it gets over everything.
Yeah. Okay, Rick. Well, thank you for your check in, and we'll get back to you in a little bit. Thanks a bunch. Next, let's go to Mac, VA3IMW. Come on in, Mac.
Good evening, Chuckles. Bonsoir, mes amis. Good to be back in the land of good old-fashioned English-speaking Canadians and all the rest of that stuff. So, just about
Yeah.
back to myself, and let me see. This morning, I only beat the alarm by about 30 minutes, and on the downside, by 3 or 3:30 this afternoon, I was ready for a nap. So, yeah, bit by bit, I'm getting my body used to the North American time zone. But yep, looking forward to hearing what I missed for a few weeks. So don't screw it up tonight, Chuck.
Okay, I'll do my best there, Mac. You're sounding good down here. Great signal, as always. Good audio. Keep an ear out for a Art VE3 Kilo Charlie India. I have been having trouble with this radio for the last few weeks, and so I switched over to my Yaesu 2980 for the past 2 weeks. But I find it difficult having to hold the microphone and you know type in the laptop and handle the mouse and everything else. So I went back to the radio with the foot switch, and so hopefully the radio is working fine this evening. But my other radios I was using, I was able to hear Art pretty good. So yeah, we'll have to see if we can hear him. Okay, then, Mac. Anything else?
Well, I'll certainly keep my ears open for anything that you might need help with. So, yeah, I'm here for the duration. Unless you hear some snoring in the background, in which case I'll apologize in advance. But no, I don't have a foot pedal, so no, and I never use Vox either. So,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
if there's snoring going on, you're not going to hear it. It's just going to be the rumbling that's taking place by the fireplace.
All right, very good. Yeah, I would use the Vox on mine, but I am like 3 feet away from the furnace, and so that just wouldn't work. It would trip off all the time. If I was in an enclosed room with a door and nice and quiet, I could do it, but not here. Okay, Mac. So we'll clear with you, and I'm not sure if I wrote everyone down in order, but I think Gary is next. VE3JGK. I got it right this time. Gary, come on in.
V3BK.
Okay, VE3BK. I got you in the log. Stand by. Go ahead there, Gary.
Yeah, good evening, Chuck. It's Gary in downtown Hamilton, and on the ham radio news front, a couple of weeks ago, I got my very first ever AM contact on HF, which I've never done before. So, for someone that's been licensed 50 plus years, that was an interesting first in the hobby. And it was a station in northern Michigan, so a reasonable distance away. And was part of a Sunday morning net, so that worked out rather nicely. And on the cat front, sadly, we lost our kitty that was about 12 years old about a month ago after spending some really serious coin, which was ultimately in vain. We went through the blood testing, IVs, x-rays. We were getting close to doing an ultrasound, didn't really go to that. And at the end of the day, we put her down. And it really boiled down to not only the cost issue, which is clearly an issue, but also the quality of life, but also the prognosis. you can pour a lot of time, money, and effort into the kitty, and at the end of the day, you may extend their life by some relatively short, finite period.
Yeah.
Because when they're old, and there's no getting around that.
Yeah.
So my condolences there to Debbie. There's no easy answer. There's no perfect answer, but with a little bit of info that she supplied, I'd be willing to bet more than a coffee that it might be time for the kitty to be treated humanely. And sadly, we don't even treat people that humanely. Back to you.
Yeah, Gary, I couldn't have said it better myself. Uh, it's not, it's not it's not something you tell someone, oh, just get rid of it, yada, yada, yada. It's a tough decision, and you have to weigh the pros and the cons. And most of us are pretty smart about it. I mean, especially having a pet for that long. Yeah, that's too bad for you too, as well. Having, like you said, spent a fair bit of coin only to extend your pet's life just a little bit longer because, like you said, when they're getting up there, I mean, I'm getting older and not getting any younger, so the pain and aches, they don't go away. And so, especially if you have a disease, you know. But anyways, so oh yeah, going back to the contact on AM there, Gary. Um, Ontars on Friday evening has a AM net um, on 3.755. Let's see if I've got the Friday at 6:30 p.m. On 3755 on AM now. I've never gone to listen yet because it's fairly new, but that's something I'd be willing to check out as well. There, over to you, Gary.
I'll have to keep that in mind, although I must admit that's typically supper time, so I'm not often on the radio at that time. And one last thought about cats and aging and illness. Just when you do research there, Deb, and you look at cats, you'll find that they're what they call apex predators, and they almost never show symptoms of disease until they're pretty much ready to keel over. So, unfortunately for us as pet owners with cats, they truck along happily and appear to be really healthy until the day comes where they're absolutely not. And at that point, very often, it turns out that they're at the end stage of whatever it is that they have. So that's just the nature of the species. And unlike dogs and unlike humans that can be ill and recover and perk right along, cats, not so much, just because of the way they're built.
Yep, that's very good information there, Gary. All right, well, thank you for all of that and sharing everything else with us, and your check-in. You're in the log, Gary. So you enjoy the rest of the evening. I assume you'll be going along. Do you have anything else before we keep going down our list here?
Negative. That's it for me. I'll make sure everyone else gets at least as much airtime, and we'll be listening for at least a few more minutes, but probably not to the very end. 73V3JGK.
Okay, very good. And so we'll clear with VE3JGK and go and say hello to Mike in Burlington. Victor Echo 3, Kilo Mike, Quebec. Come on in, Mike.
Yeah, good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on the net this evening. Hope everybody's doing well. Not an awful lot going on with me, just trying to stay warm after these last couple days. And as a matter of fact, being down here in the shack in the basement, this is the first night that I've switched on the space heater. So needed to take the edge off the coolness, and I got to say it's rather nice, warm on the feet. So yeah, not a lot going on, just a check-in, and so with that, back to you, V3KMQ.
Okay, there, Mike. Yeah, I myself was busy the last couple of days adjusting our air vents. Uh, we have them coming out of the bottom of the wall And so the vents are, well, they're vertical, and they're probably from around 1940. It's a big square plate, about 12 inches by 12, and you push in this knob, and it's supposed to keep the vent open or closed, right? But all of them are all busted, and they don't stay open. They do stay closed. And so I had to rig some small pieces, some small blocks of wood, and glue them uh, while sticking inside the vent to keep it propped open there in a couple of places. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with those very, very old style heating vents, but you work with what you have. And since it's getting cold, uh, yeah, the last thing I have to do is to cover up our air conditioner there. I just don't have a contractor bag big enough at the moment.
Yeah, well, I'm in a very old house myself here. I guess it's almost 100 years old. I guess it would be. But anyway, no, I'm not familiar with those large vents you're speaking about, although the previous owner, I think, probably had things redone. So they're more modern vents. But yeah, that's creative there, Chuck. Getting putting the mind to it and some blocks of wood to prop them open. That's ingenuity, I guess, right? Very good. Back to you.
Yeah, yeah. We're paying for the gas to heat this place, and we just, we want to make sure we get our heat distributed where we want. So you work with what you've got. So, anyways, Mike, thank you very much for your check-in, sir. Do you have anything else before we move along?
No, not at this time. I'll listen along for a little bit. And good net, Chuck, as always. Back to you.
Okay, very good, Mike. And so I do appreciate your check-in, sir. Enjoy the rest of the evening if we don't speak again. So we'll clear with VE3KMQ and say hello to Al in Grassy VA3 NFL. Okay, well, I did hear Al check in there, and he is in the log. One and done, I'm assuming, like I think last week was the same thing. And so let's go say hello to VE3 Papa Delta Lima. Paul.
Thanks, Chuck. Good to hear everybody in there. Yeah, you got quite the good crowd there this evening, Chuck. But to be expected. You do a good job, sir. And yeah, not much to add. Just throwing a bean in the pot. I missed some weeks, so wanted to make sure I threw a couple in this time in case I missed next week. Alrighty, sir. I'll pass it back to you so you can keep the ball rolling. V3 PDL.
Okay, very good, Paul. Thank you for your check-in. That's too bad there. I heard the Outback fella, Zulu, Sierra Zulu, was a little tired there and went for a nap. Well, maybe we'll get him to stay up a little bit later next week. Thanks again for your check-in there, Paul. All right, so that brings us to Rick, Victor Echo 3, Bravo Kilowatt. Come on in, Rick.
Yeah, good evening to everybody on frequency. Yeah, some of the guys I hear on there tonight, I missed them on Monday noon. So anyway, PDL, you're gonna have to set your clock, buddy. You keep missing me. Anyway, yeah, if you guys didn't check in, and Mac, well, welcome back, Mac. VA3 IMW, if it's all right, I'd like to say hello to Mac there. If it's all right, Chuck, go ahead.
Absolutely, go ahead.
Yeah, Mac, are you in there?
Absolutely, Rick. Appreciate the welcome, and yes, it's good to be back here on Canadian soil.
Roger, yeah. Somebody said you were there on Monday night, but then I called you and I couldn't hear you at all, so I don't know whether you disappeared or whether that really was you that was there. Were you there on Monday night?
Yeah, I was. I tried to reach out to you a couple of times, and I think you're still running a remote station with your own equipment, still still working on some details there, but yeah, and of course, trying to get my my body to recognize North American time. It hasn't been strange for me to bed down early because last week I was 6 hours ahead of myself. So yeah, right now it would be 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that.
Oh yeah. Well, it's 1:26 UTC, so that means it's almost 1:30 in England. So yeah, and I'm not sure exactly where you were. Where were you, in Paris?
Well, I was in France. We were northeast of Paris, but yeah, so 6 hours ahead of Canadian time. I guess UTC is 5 or whatever, so they're an hour beyond that. So yeah, it's definitely something to get used to, and obviously being over there for 4 weeks in a row, your body does adapt to that new time zone. So switching back is a little harder than I thought. In September when I was over there, it was only for 3 weeks, so it only took me a couple of days to acclimate to the time coming back last time, but this time it's been a little harder.
Oh yeah, I know. The older you get, the harder it is too. And like when I do a Ski Worldwide, we're up there in the wee hours of the morning all night, and then it takes me at least 3 days to get back to semi-normal. Anyway, so hello to Gary on there, and not sure who else is all on there. And so good evening, and Chuck, just to let you know, I got the crossband on, and KCI, if he comes in there, you can always use a crossband if you need to work him. So right now I'm on the other radio with my beam, which is actually pointed your way. It's just where I lift my antenna. So anyway, good evening to everybody on it. I don't know if there's a subject or not. And Gary, yeah, too bad about the cat. Yeah, I've been through quite a few pets, and I know exactly what you mean. We had one cat that had the 9 lives, got hit by a car, and came back to life. I nursed her with with an eye dropper to feed her, and she came back to life, lived till she was 21, and then cancer got her, and it was the same thing where you're talking about. You don't know until the end. So anyway, okay, so that's all I got there, Chuck. Good to hear you. And good, we're just sitting here on the side waiting, and I got the crossband on for you. VA3CJZ, V3BK.
Okay, very good then, Rick. Yeah, no subject so far this evening, or optional question. We're just winging it tonight. See how everybody's doing. We are approaching the 1st of December on Friday. Things are getting cold and a little bit white. But Hamilton is usually pretty lucky. The bad stuff usually goes around us, and it either goes north, or it goes south, or it goes both, north of us and south of us. But we usually miss the really bad stuff, so that's good. We just send it all to Buffalo. All right. Well, thank you for putting the crossband on. If I do hear Art or someone else does, I'll switch over to the crossband side. So, as you know, Rick, I tried to check into your net there, but the radio is just not liking that frequency for some reason. And if I talk for more than a few seconds, it just goes out. We'll try it again next week. See what happens.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I got a crossband that I got a radio here that I'm using for the crossband. Does not like high power on 440 in certain frequencies. So it's maybe something to do with the SWR. Who knows? Makes the radio go. But anyway, and KMQ, we heard you in there. Okay, and howdy, and okay, back to that. I think there's a breaker or somebody in there. Go ahead there. V3 VK.
Yes, sir. Okay, thanks, Rick. And I heard someone as well. Is there someone else in there wishing to check in with us? Please come now.
Go 3, sir. Go uniform. Fuck off, Chuck.
Sir Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Whiskey.
Fuck off, Chuck.
Okay, so I heard Victor Echo 3, Charlie Echo Uniform, and another station with Juliet in there. Please come again.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Whiskey.
Charlie Juliet Whiskey. Got it that time. All right, so let's go and say hello to Thomas, VE3 Charlie Echo Uniform. Come on in, Tom.
VE3CJZ, VE3CU, good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on the net here. It's a crisp and cold. It's Wednesday night for sure, but yeah, got the heater on the heater going blasting here in the room, and yeah, just listening along.
Oh, very good, very good. Yes, definitely switching from sweater to jacket and hat and gloves now. It's here. And so it's also a little bit noisy for me tonight there. I've got you at an S8, but there's a bit of static coming in with you. And I did notice when you unkeyed there, I had an S3 noise level coming in here on 2 meters. So I can still hear you though, no problem.
Yeah, I noticed the noise level's high tonight for sure, and I usually get you full scale. I got you about a +10 here at Burlington, and yeah, it's a little bit less. Maybe it's got to readjust the cookie sheet, wherever the cookie sheet is here. But I think I got it at the best value here. But just wanted to join in and say hello, and not much else going on at this end. We're just on the computer and listening along.
Okay, very good, Thomas. Well, thank you very much for checking in. And yeah, maybe adjust that cookie sheet or whatever you have there and see if you can get us in maybe a little bit better. But I do appreciate you check in, Tom. And you have a great rest of the evening if I don't speak to you. Anything else?
Nothing else from this end. I'll stick around for a little while.
All right. Tom from Burlington. Do appreciate it, Tom. Okay, so let's go and say hello to, I think it's Chris, VA3 Charlie Juliet Whiskey. Come on in.
Yeah, you got it right, Chuck. It's Chris dropping in again this week. VA3 CJW. Hearing you guys talk about strictly looked into or identified oil or cream. So it's the same plant that you get marijuana from, but it doesn't. It's got no THC in it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, Chris, are you on a handheld?
Breaking up on.
Well, I've got you coming in here at about an S8 with a little bit of noise there, just like Thomas. So you're in Burlington here. It shows, right?
With a antenna on it, and just sitting here in the house. But it's a little bit noisier than last week. Maybe it's just not quite as nice out, you know.
Yeah, definitely could be the colder conditions there. It's showing 0 outside my place, so yeah, it's a little bit chilly. I don't know what the wind is like there, but it's nice indoors. Anyways, we are getting a little bit of interference there from someone else, but I do appreciate you checking in, Chris. Do you have anything else for us?
No, nothing else for now, Chuck. Just sort of standing by and listening, and yeah, just a suggestion to try and look into either oil or cream. You can get a topical cream, and you can get an oil that you take that drops or sharp flavor. So.
Oh, really, eh? You can get it in the oil drops. Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's good. I'll have to look into that for sure. I do appreciate the advice, Chris. I'll let you know what I find.
JZ, VA3CJW.
Okay, very good. So we'll clear with VA3 CJW. And I'd also like to acknowledge Bill, Victor Echo 3 India United Kilowatt, for checking in with us on the YouTube stream, as well as Wayne B. That's VA3 Fox Mike Bravo. Good evening, gentlemen. Thank you for your check in on YouTube. And so, with that, let's see if anyone else is out there would like to check in with us here on the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. Please come now.
VA3NCA.
All right. Well, I heard VA3NCA loud and clear. Didn't see you on the YouTube stream there, but welcome. Come on in, Wade. Yeah, Wade.
VA3CJZ, VA3NCA. Yeah, good evening, Chuck, and all on net. I did do something with YouTube earlier. I'm listening along on YouTube, of course, and I did put a post there, but it didn't seem to take. So I'm not sure what happened with my phone there, but nonetheless, I'm making it official with an RF check-in to everybody and to check in with Chuck on Wednesdays. This has been it's only Wednesday and it's a long week already. I was in for off-site management strategy meeting for 2 days. Off-site was actually not too far off-site. I was within line of sight of the athletic center on campus. McMaster owns a few of the houses in that little Mitchell Court right off of campus, and they've turned them into like rentable hospitality places. And so we were in one of them for all day Monday, all day Tuesday, and that's exhausting for anybody. So it's only halfway through, but I had to take the day off. Anyways, not much else going on for me, as I said, because it's been work all, the first 2 days. I haven't done much radio at all, but I am looking at fixing up my shack computer now here. So that's my project while I listen along to the AREG net this Wednesday. You've got a good group so far building up, lots of check-ins, and so I'm sure there's lots coming too. So anyways, hope things are going well, and I'll set it back to you, VA3NCA.
Oh, very good there, Wade. Yeah, you're sounding really good tonight. Nice and strong signal. I think you're about full scale over here, and sounding really good tonight from your end there. So, too bad 70 centimeters doesn't give us the same results. But well, thankfully we're on 2 meters. So I think the other night I heard you talking about the CubeSat that was launched not too long ago. There had failed. Is that right?
Yeah, unfortunately, they have not been able to make communications again. They had a few sketchy sort of contacts in the very early days, but there was a fault somewhere in the power system, and so it was not able to maintain any sort of reliable communications. What's interesting about it is they had a twin unit, one that was exactly the same build and versions of everything, and it was left in the lab, and that was for troubleshooting. So the guy who is, they called him a PI, which sounds cooler than it is. It means principal investigator, principal investigator for a research project. And I was talking to him, and he he was saying that they were able to replicate the issue they were having on the twin that was in the lab, so they know what happened. And they'll make sure it doesn't happen for the next one, which is already planned to launch at closer to solar maximum, the third quarter of 2025. And in the meantime, some of the other stuff they've learned from the first one are being reused for other research projects. So some of the results live on, which is good, and it's a platform to build on for the next round. The next round is called Preset. So previous it was called New Dose, which was related to the scientific payload that it was carrying. And the new one is called Preset, which is related to the new scientific payload that they're going to send up. And they're just ramping up for that now. The ground station that they set up for all of this has, they speculate about a 10-year lifespan. And so they set it up specifically for multiple projects to come along. And so they'll reuse all of that same ground station and antenna that's sitting up on top of the engineering technology building on campus. So good news, bad news type of thing, but I guess space is hard, so I guess they're learning that with this experience. About the contacts, yeah, I have a bit of a high noise floor. I think it's the Christmas lights in my neighborhood more than likely, but the signals are strong, and I'm reading you really nice and clear. And yeah, 70 centimeters not doing well for me. I tried to get into Chris's net at 7:30 a couple times, and I just wasn't making it. So, anyways, yeah, I think that's it. For this, I'll send it back to you.
Okay, yeah, very good. You know, I've been reading a story online about researchers or scientists were noticing that the first stage of the SpaceX rocket, when it comes back down to Earth, it has to fire in order to orient itself, right, and to shoot back down to Earth. And so apparently, when they do that, the ionosphere glows red. Apparently, creates a big red ionized uh, reaction there, and scientists were just noticing that, and they're not saying it's harmful at this point, but they have noticed it, and they're looking into that. I don't know if you read about that either.
Well, I have to say I haven't heard that particular thing, but I can imagine that when they're doing new stuff out there, that all sorts of weird things will fall out of that, and so hopefully those weird things aren't too dangerous. I'm gonna have to look into that. There's all sorts of other stuff going on with the whole SpaceX. I think it's a good thing that he's rich, because a lot of other organizations wouldn't be able to get away with some of his shenanigans. Like a launch site that's in the middle of a nature reserve there in Boca Chica, Texas, and various other shenanigans that go on. Rockets that explode, or what do they call it, a RUD, rapid unscheduled disassembly, the RUDs that they talk about. But I guess space is hard, so failures happen, and I guess that's how you learn, I suppose. But yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that ionosphere stuff. Not surprised though, but we'll be amazed at lots of things we find, and I guess that's part of the good thing about it, I suppose.
Yeah, like you said, it's a good thing Musk is rich, because he keeps blowing up rockets, and then that one huge one that he lifted off there created a bunch of damage and destroyed the launch pad. And so I guess they're going to have to do something about that. So, anyways, very interesting stuff there, Wade. I do appreciate you checking in with us and listen along with us on YouTube. So, with that, we'll say 7-3 for now, and thank you again. And let's see. This is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu with the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. Looking for check ins. Please come now. Okay, nothing heard at the moment. There aren't very many contests coming up this weekend. I do believe there's only one for sideband. And what's that called? There's an ARRL 160 meter contest, and that's for CW only on 160. After that, we have the what's called the Cal Bar, KAL Bar, BAR contest, and that's for sideband for 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, and 80. And that will be 0 Zulu time, December 2nd to 23:59 Zulu, December 3rd. So that's it for sideband contest. And then there's what else is there? The Pro CW contest, and that's for 10, 15, 20, 40, and 80, and that's again for CW. And then there's the INORC contest, and that's also for CW, but only 15, 20, 40, and 80 on CW. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions or want to look up contests that are upcoming, just type into your browser the word contest calendar and then .com, and the site webpage will come up. And so that's it for contests. So I guess pretty soon we'll start with the on this day in history. This week is on this day 144. That's how many weeks I've been doing on this day in history. And so with that, let me do another call out and see if there's anyone else listening that would like to check in to the AREG net. That's the Amateur Radio Exchange Group net. Been going on for 30 plus years now. This is VA3CJZ looking for check-ins. Please come now. Okay, so I guess we could start off with some birthdays. Today's famous birthdays. And we have a wide variety of people with different interesting history behind it. First guy we got is Christian Doppler, born in 1803. He died in 1853, but he was born on this day in 1803, and he's an Austrian physicist. And he invented the Doppler, or he found the Doppler effect, and he was born in Salzburg, Austria. Now here's a radio-related person. In 1849, John Ambrose Fleming was born. He was an English electrical engineer, physicist, and inventor. He invented the vacuum diode, the first electronic rectifier of radio waves. Born in Lancaster, England, and he passed away almost 100 years He died in 1945, and he was born in 1849, so 96 years old. Next, we've got Vin Scully. That name might sound familiar. He was born on this day in 1927. He's an American sportscaster with the Brooklyn and LA Dodgers from 1950 to 2016. Many awards, and he was born in the Bronx, New York. Passed away just last year in 2022. Next, we've got Jackie Stallone has a birthday. She was born in 1929. Shows here that doesn't show that she's passed away. Jackie Stallone is an American astrologer and mother of Sylvester Stallone, born in Washington, D.C. All right, next we've got born on this day in 1941, Denny Doherty, Canadian musician, singer, and songwriter for the Mamas and the Papas, the song I Saw Her Again, and the song California Dreaming, or Dreamin', California Dreamin'. Born in Halifax, Nova Scotia, passed away in 2007. And Jerry the King Lawler was born on this day in 1949. He's an American professional wrestler and commentator with the WWE, born in Memphis, Tennessee. Jerry the King Lawler. And then we go to 1951. On this day, November 29th, 1951, Barry Goudreau was born. He's an American rock guitarist with the band Boston. You'll recall the song More Than a Feeling. Born in Boston, Massachusetts. No wonder the band's name is Boston. Howie Mandel has a birthday today. He was born in 1955 on this day. Canadian comedian. He was actually on St. Elsewhere, if you can remember that far back. That's where he made his television debut out of comedy into a serious role. Born in Toronto, Ontario. Happy birthday, Howie Mandel. Oh, and he's a big germaphobe. Doesn't like to be touched. All right, now we got Tom Sizemore, born on this day, 1961. He's an American actor. You might remember him as the sergeant in Saving Private Ryan. He was also in the movie Wyatt Earp, among others. Born in Detroit, Michigan. He just passed away earlier this year. Tom Sizemore. And next we've got Don Cheadle celebrating a birthday today. He was born in 1964. American actor. He was in the movie Boogie Nights. He was in the Oceans trilogy and also in the Avengers movie there as the Patriot. Born in Kansas City, Missouri. And then next we've got Anna Faris celebrating her 47th birthday today. She was born in 1976. And she was in the Scary movie, if you remember that. It was kind of a, what do you call that? A satire of the Scream movies. Anyways, and I think she was on Saturday Night Live. She was also in the movie Mom, born in Baltimore, Maryland. And next, having a birthday on this day is Chadwick Boseman, born in 1976. Also, he would have been 47 years old, but he passed away a couple of years ago, 2020. He's the man who played Black Panther in the movies there. Born in Anderson, South Carolina, passing away in 2020. And finally, we have Ashley Force celebrating a birthday today. She was born in 1982. I do believe she's the fastest female on the planet. Ashley Force is the daughter of John Force, who is a top fuel champion off and on, American race car driver, born in Yorba Linda, California. What a name. Yorba Linda. That's the name of a town. All right. Well, that wraps up birthdays of famous people on this day in history. Do we have any questions, comments, or check-ins for this week's AREG? This is VA3CJZ.
Victor Echo 3 Golf Bravo Delta. Not sure if that's working or not.
Absolutely there, George. Got you loud and proud. VE3 Golf Bravo Delta. Hey, you're sounding almost overdriven there, George, but I can hear you no problem.
Yeah, I'm sitting in my truck right now because I got no radio communication in the garage, so I'm sitting in my truck.
There you go. Is your truck running?
Literally got the heat on.
That a boy. Well, there you go. Yeah, you're in your shack on wheels, George. That's all.
Yeah, right, Joe. Yeah, I didn't know if this was gonna work or not, but yeah, and I'm sure the wife will be yelling at me soon enough, saying, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, well, you're just staying warm and chatting with us on the AREG net there, George. I thought I heard you earlier on the ZOE there saying you were going to check in, so I was wondering where you were, and here you are. Better late than never.
Yeah, Chuck, I lost the top to screw my antenna in. I lost the top and I can't find it. It's somewhere in the garage. Where it went, I have no idea. That's why I came to the truck.
Oh, yeah. The top of the antenna. I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, you know that one you screw in for the handheld? You just screw it into the top of the handheld, and then you can screw in the coax.
Oh, the adapter. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, somehow I lost it, and I can't find it. So I'm gonna go buy a bunch.
Yeah, yeah. My advice would be to get yourself a nice bright flashlight, um, because I know when I lose stuff there, I find it helps quite a bit. I mean, something super bright, it lights up everything, and you can see these little things.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah, you know what? I do have a bright light. I've got the bright lights in the garage, and it's funny. I heard it fall, but you think I can find it? Nope. So I don't know.
George, I'm sitting here at my shack desk, and sometimes I'll have something fall like right in front of me, like it'll on my desk right in front, and I'll look down and it'll be like, well, where is it? Yeah, it falls and then it bounces into a position where unless you're a mouse, it's hard to find unless you start ripping everything apart.
Absolutely. You know what though? I'll probably find it tomorrow when I'm really not looking for it. That's usually what happens.
Yeah, yeah, and like you said earlier, there, get yourself order a couple more and put them in a place where you'll remember where it is if that ever happens, and that way you'll have some spares.
Exactly. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to key up. You know, it just kind of sucks that I have to sit in the truck and do it, but hey, it's working good. So I know the radio works good. I've never tried it before.
Yeah, well, there you go, George. I've got you coming in here, just pegging me full scale and um, nice loud audio, George. So it's working.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I do have the truck running, so I don't know if there's going to be noise or not, but hey, sounds good over here, I'll tell you what. Wow, loud.
All right, George. Well, I don't know how long you're going to stay with us, but I do want to thank you for your check-in, and we'll be here for a little while yet. So listen along. Anything else there, buddy?
No, I'm just gonna go back to the garage and see if I can find that piece for the top of the handheld.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that is magnetic or not, uh, but you could always try bringing a strong magnet with you there as well, and sweep around with it. But I'm not sure if that particular item is magnetic. But anyways, good luck, George, and jump back in there if you do find it.
Oh, I definitely will. I definitely will. If not, I'll jump back in the truck.
All right, sounds good. Thanks again, George. And so we'll clear with Victor Echo 3, Golf Bravo Delta. And let's see if anyone else is out there would like to check in with us here on the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3CJZ. All right. Anyone else with, does anyone have any announcements they'd like to make? Rick, do you have any announcements? VE3 Bravo Kilowatt.
Okay, let me turn down some background noise here. V3MQ. Well, the only thing we got going here this Sunday at 5 o'clock, we got our Christmas party for the Hamilton Amateur Radio Club. You did the announcements good on the contesting. The big one on there this weekend that I would have been involved in would be the ARL 160 contest, and that's a gentleman's band, 160 meters. The other one I wasn't really aware of. So contest calendar, that's the place to go and look at the 8-day. That's one to look at, and it mentions a lot more contests than I usually bring up. And same with you, Chuck, I think. And also great breakdown on there on the 8-day calendar. You can go in on the website, see what the contest's all about, check out the rules and all that good stuff. But that's about it for now. And the only thing is the Hamilton Club having a Christmas party, and you don't have to be a club member to go, and you can show up at the door. So that's at the Hamilton Yacht Club, 5 o'clock on Sunday is when the social hour starts at 5 o'clock and dinner served at 6. So that's the only thing I got there. Chuck, thanks for letting me in there.
I like that.
Okay, very good then, Rick. So you don't have to be a member to go, and friends of the Hamilton Amateur Club can go, and at the Yacht Club, 5 o'clock Friday, right?
Yeah, it's on Sunday, December the 3rd at 5 o'clock. And usually, the Yacht Club is more of a restaurant type center. And Barry's done a great job of bringing it about there, V3ISX. And so far, we've got something like 40 some odd tickets sold, and he's got gifts from different vendors, different people in the 30s. So almost everybody's going to get a gift. And if you do spend the money, it's it is a little bit expensive at the Yacht Club, $40 each for the meal and dessert and coffee, and the club supplies one drink, and also there's wine at the table usually, and all the women will be getting a present of some kind off the table. So every wife that comes or girlfriend will have something to take home. And that's it, Chuck. VA3CJZ, V3BK.
Okay, yeah, all right, very good. Thanks for informing us about that, Rick. Much appreciated. And speaking of $40 for dinner, I heard the Mandarin has opened at the Center Mall here. They finally opened after a delay, and I heard that that's what they're asking for their. I think the dinner, the all you can eat dinner, $40 a person. So that's not cheap. But yeah, if you time it right, there you can eat a fair amount for especially with the they've got everything there.
Oh yeah, I just heard that too, that they were open. Finally they're open. That's good. Anyway, yeah. Well, this is turkey dinner. Turkey dinner, standard Christmas fare kind of thing, and we've been going there for a number of years, and it's really good food. So, and the staff that is there, they're there, and they come out, and they do a great job.
All right, very good then. Okay, Rick. So again, thank you, and let's see if anyone else is out there that would like to check in with us. You don't have to be a member of anything. Just have a valid amateur radio license to check into this net. And my call is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu. And my name is Chuck over here by the Center Mall. Anyone, anywhere, please come now.
Victor Echo 3, Tango Oscar.
Victor Echo 3, Tango Oscar. Gary, come on in.
Yeah, good day there, Chuck. Hopefully everything's going good. The things we've been doing there, we did the Milton Santa Claus parade there on the weekend there, and that was a nice parade. I'll tell you though, Hampton has to be on the list of disgrace, especially for that Grey Cup parade. That was just terrible. It was. I watched that and I thought, something, Hampton could have done better, and but it was just terrible. I don't know if you've seen it there or not.
Oh, what's that? The game and the halftime? Yep, I watched most of it.
Prior to the Saturday parade, Grey Cup parade, it was terrible. It was supposed to have been a combination Santa and Grey Cup parade.
Oh, right. Yeah, so they did a poor job, did they?
They did a real poor job, and I thought, we could have done better. And, usually when they have a Grey Cup parade, they have all the floats from the different CFL teams and stuff like that. Not this one. But anyway, it was not a very good parade at all.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry to hear that. Well, Hamilton dropped the ball, probably on purpose to save some money, and who knows? But having the Grey Cup brings in money, so I don't know. That's too bad.
Yeah, roger there. Anyway, that's the only situation I wanted to mention there, because I thought it was a real disgrace. Usually Grey Cup parades are really nice, and Hamilton, did a very poor job of it. But anyway, that's about it I have to say, and hopefully everything's going good with you. And we had that white stuff this morning.
Yes, I noticed. That's why my left knee was bothering me the last couple of days. Or I knew something was going to happen, either rain or snow. And sure enough, it was white. So, well, it looks like it's pretty much all gone now. And so we're supposed to be above zero tomorrow. But it's going to dip back down. It's inevitable in the next several days, I'm sure. But yeah, the furnace is working. We got a new filter in, and we're staying nice and toasty indoors. So we're doing okay over here, Gary. Thank you for asking, and thank you for checking in. I do appreciate it. And yes, I did hear Garnett actually mentioning the Milton. What was that again?
Milton Santa Claus parade.
Oh, the Milton Santa Claus parade. And was that nicer than ours?
It was a very nice parade. Very, very nice parade there. And was very enjoyable, too.
Now, I understand the train was in Toronto, the Christmas train. It should be making its way here. I don't know if they're coming tonight, or have you heard anything?
I think it was already here at Gage Park there about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow, eh? Yeah, they start early now for Christmas. I tell you, as soon as uh, as soon as Halloween was over, the Christmas decorations were popping up everywhere. So we just turned our lights on a couple of days ago there, and nothing fancy. We have a few stringers out front, and that's it. And they're on a timer.
Yeah, Roger there. Anyway, yeah, we got some up here, and neighbors have put some up also. So, oh well, it's about Christmas, and it's a time for peace on earth, and I hope we can establish that. And we think of what's happening there and where it's happening is the start of Christianity and all the other religions too. So it's let's just hope for peace on earth.
Yep, yep, absolutely. Um, and speaking of Santa, they found his body. Saint Nick was a priest or a monk, and they found him in a church in Turkey. And so the actual Saint Nicholas was found in Turkey. A lot of people thought he was in Italy, but in fact he's in Turkey, and that was just recently, not too long ago, that archaeologists found him.
Yeah, I heard something that he was Turkish or something. Yeah, that's I heard that there was different menus of him too. Like the European Santa and the Canadian Santa and stuff like that, and the Coca-Cola Santa. Don't forget that one, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, the Coca-Cola Santa. Geez, I've actually got an old tin here, an old Coca-Cola tin, Santa Claus on there with Coca-Cola. Okay, Gary. Well, thanks a lot for checking in with us and sharing all the information with us tonight there. And you have a great rest of the evening.
You take care. Have a great evening. V3TTO.
Okay, so with Gary, that makes check-in number 16 so far. Let's see if anyone else is out there would like to make it 17. This is VA3CJZ with the weekly amateur radio exchange group Simplex Net, looking for check-ins. Anyone, anywhere?
VE3LBI.
VE3LBI. Larry, come on in. How's it going?
Not too bad. I just kind of got here about 2 or 3 minutes ago, so I'm not sure if you had any topics for tonight or you're just doing a carry on.
Yeah, no, we're just, asking everybody how things are going and playing it by ear, and whatever someone wants to talk about is what we do. So nothing fancy this week. Um, although I was going to maybe ask if anybody was already buying any Christmas presents. I actually started in October because I don't have lots of money, so I buy a little bit here, a little bit there, and so we're getting there.
Well, I don't have to worry about that because the wife and I don't buy for each other, and she looks after. Well, the kids are easy. Grandson, that's another chore. He's got lots of toys, so we try to find something more educational for him. But I think she's almost done that too. So yeah, the wife and I don't buy any for ourselves anymore. We would, but the problem is neither one of us can afford a $75,000 car to trade back and forth.
Yeah, yeah, and I hear what is it, by 2030 you won't be able to buy a brand new gas powered car.
We'll have to wait and see about that. They just use the gas generators to charge the cars.
Yeah, yeah, and they don't do well in winter. I mean, with those big pileups you get on the highways, and Some people are stuck in there for many hours, and then you got the heater on, drains the battery, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm still not convinced on an EV vehicle. Maybe as a secondary vehicle, uh, but yeah, I'm definitely not ready to give up gas.
See, somebody should be thinking right now they have a quick charge system where they can pull up to somebody's vehicle that needs a quick charge, and just like a tow truck, except you plug in, you give them a charge, and it takes like some type of a quick charge, whatever they can put into it, in 5 or 10 minutes, and away you go again.
Yeah, I'm sure that's already been thought of, and they might be working on it. And absolutely, well, it's kind of like your charging cables. You've got USB charging cables that will only give you the 1 amp or whatever, and others will give you three, and therefore give you a quicker charge, and so on. And so yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yep, like I say, somebody will come along with it. So, okay, I'll pass it back over to you. Wait to see else any other check-ins or what else you got for tonight. So, I'll listen along. VE3LBI.
All right, Larry, thank you very much. Clearing with Victor Echo 3, Lima Bravo, India. Anyone else would like to check in with us here on the AREG net? Please come now. This is VA3CJZ.
Victor Echo 3, November Whiskey. RPOD.
Victor Echo 3, November Whiskey. One of the Whiskey brothers. I've got one, two, three whiskeys tonight. Better watch it. I'll start getting tipsy. Come on in, Arpad.
Oh, they all try to copy me. You can't do that. Nobody can do that. I'm the original Hungarian. So, yeah, good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on the net. Just turned on the radio, and I heard you guys talking there. So, yeah, just going to go out to Tim Hortons to have a coffee.
Oh, okay. Very good. I'm drinking a homemade coffee here, and um, for me, going out to get a coffee is a treat now. Uh, the wife used to work at Tim Hortons, so I used to get them almost every night. But that has since disappeared. So I make coffee at home. So thanks for checking in, Arpad. Anything new and exciting?
Nah, it's winter time. Too cold, too cold. That's all what it is. Can't work on the outside too much. So I guess I'm just actually I rebuilding some batteries for the solar system. I don't want to spend the money on new batteries, so I try to adding water to the glass mat batteries. So hopefully they're going to revive a little bit.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, I'm also finding things that are going to be keeping me busy during the cold months here. Um, yesterday I went and brought the shovels a little bit closer to the back door, so I don't go. I don't have far to go to get the shovels, and hopefully we won't need them until January. And when there's just a little dusting like we're getting now, we just get a broom or actually the easiest thing to do is take the leaf blower out, plug it in, and turn that on, and you'll be done in no time. That's, of course, if the snow isn't sticking.
Oh yeah, you could use that this morning. Yeah, it was quite cold, and the side streets were a little bit slippery. I was taking Kati to work this morning, and at 8 o'clock, and it wasn't fun. It was quite icy at some places, and yeah, if you have one of those blower with the built-in battery, that would be even better. You don't have to drag the cord behind you. Like. Yeah, the gasoline, in the winter time, it's hard to start and whatnot. But yeah, if you have those little electric ones, they sell those now, or you can buy a combo with all the adapters. All right, Chuck, I'm going to say 73, and I'll take my handheld with me. Right now I'm on the base, putting out about 50 watt or so on the omnidirectional antenna. You're doing a good job, and thank you very much to running the net.
Okay, Arpad. Well, I do appreciate your check-in, sir. You make sure and dress warm for your coffee, and if you get a chance there, jump in and say hi on your portable. And so we'll clear with Victor Echo 3, November Whiskey. And I'd also like to say hi to Downtown Richard. VA3VJC has joined us on the YouTube stream. Hello, Richard. I hope everything is going well with you. I think we missed you last week, so hope you're doing well. And so, with that, let's see if anyone else is out there would like to join us here on the Amateur Radio Exchange Group, AREG. This is VA3CJZ. My name is Chuck, and I'm here by the Center Mall, looking for anyone, anywhere. Okay, nothing heard. So let's go back to our On This Day in History. So we did the birthdays of famous people. Let's see who died today in history. Famous people in history. And we'll start off with the year 1463. Mary of Anjou. She was the Queen of France from the years 1422 to 1461. Now, I never knew that France ever had a queen. And so there it is in the 1400s. She dies at the age of 59. Next, we've got Natalie Wood. Who here remembers Natalie Wood? She was born in 1938, but sadly passed away on this day in 1981. And Natalie Wood is an American actress. She was actually in the movie Miracle on 34th Street, Gypsy, Rebel Without a Cause. That was with James Dean. She was in West Side Story. And she died due to a drowning and other undetermined factors at the age of 43. It was a very controversial death. She was the wife of Robert Wagner. And the night she died, they were on the boat. And Christopher Walken and Robert Wagner, uh, apparently, he got into an argument. And next thing you know, his wife drowned. So it was very, very suspicious. I think they've even brought Robert Wagner in for questioning recently in the last few years to bring that up again. So it's undetermined at this time. All right, who remembers the cartoons Mr. Peabody and Bullwinkle? Two separate ones, of course. We have Bill Scott passing away on this day in 1985. He's an American voice actor, producer, and writer for Mr. Peabody and Bullwinkle. Dies of a heart attack at the age of 65. Next, we've got Cary Grant passing away in 1986. Cary Grant was a British-born American actor, and he died from a cerebral hemorrhage at the age of 82. And on November 29, 2001, George Harrison passed away. Of course, he's a British guitarist, singer, songwriter, and sitar player for the Beatles. And one of his most famous songs is While My Guitar Gently Weeps. And Here Comes the Sun. Next, we've got the oldest ever nun documented passing away on this day in 2004 is Anne Sampson. It says here she was born in 1891. So that would have made her around 113 years old. The oldest ever nun. And finally, we have Drew Barrymore's father passing away in 2004, and his name is John Drew Barrymore. American actor from way back. That family has always had actors from I think the silent movies. He dies from cancer at the age of 72. Now, for the last few weeks, I've been doing who died this year in 2023, and I've done all the months up to June. So now we'll go to June, and just to remember those we lost this year. And on June 7th of this year, we lost the Iron Sheik, an Iranian pro wrestler with the WWF. His real name is Hossein Khosraw Ali Vaziri. Dies at the age of 81. And I remember him fondly. Passing away also this year, June 10th, Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, commits suspected suicide at the age of 81 in prison. And then on June 12th, Treat Williams, American actor, passed away. He died from injuries sustained in a motorcycle accident at the age of 71. And then on June 18th of this year, we lost Richard Stockton Rush III, an American businessman and co-founder and CEO of Ocean Gate. He was killed below the North Atlantic Ocean in an implosion of his company's submersible vessel at the age of 61. You guys remember that sub that went down to the Titanic and imploded? Well, that was him. Passing away on June 22nd, we have Joseph Pedott, Pedott. He's an American advertising executive and entrepreneur. He invented or advertised the Chia Pet and the Clapper, and died of a cardiac arrest at 91. Who remembers the Clapper?
Clap on.
Clap off. Yeah, that was good. And finally, on June 29th of this year, we lost Alan Arkin, Arkin, American Tony and Academy Award winning actor. You remember the movie The Russians Are Coming? The Russians Are Coming. And he did a bunch more. He's from the days of Mel Brooks. And he died of a heart failure at the age of 89 this year. And that's it for June. We got a few in July now because I got to be able to finish the year with the 4 remaining weeks left we have. So we have Tony Bennett passing away this year on July 21st. Of course, he's an American Grammy and Emmy award-winning pop and jazz singer. And he dies at the age of 96. Tony Bennett. Sinead O'Connor passed away this year on July 26th. At the age of 56. And finally, I have Paul Reubens passing away on July 30th. He's an American comic actor and screenwriter, best known for his character Pee Wee Herman. He was in Pee Wee's Big Adventure and Pee Wee's Playhouse. He dies of cancer at the age of 70. And that wraps up people passing away on this day in history, as well as this year so far up until the month of July. Are there any questions, comments, or check-ins for the AREG net? This is VA3CJZ. All right, moving on to historical events. And the first one I've got on my list is goes all the way back to 1775. On this day in history, Sir James Jay invents invisible ink. Doesn't say what it's made out of, but invisible ink goes all the way back to the year 1775. Next, we go to the year 1877. On this day, U.S. inventor Thomas Edison demonstrates his hand-cranked phonograph for the first time. Now, this phonograph was basically a metal cylinder that he cranked. You know, you used to see them really tiny ones in the little jewelry boxes that you would lift up there, and the little girl would twirl and it would play a song. Well, that's a little cylinder, and that was the very first phonograph that Thomas Edison invented. There was a picture of it there when I looked it up. Next, we go to the year 1887, 10 years after the phonograph. The United States receives rights to Pearl Harbor on Oahu, Hawaii. That's all I have. And then in 1890, on this day, the very first United States Army versus United States Navy football game, and the score was Navy 24, Army 0. And that game was held at West Point. So the very first football game for Army versus Navy goes all the way back to the year 1890. Sticking with football, but this time with the CFL Grey Cup in 1913 at the AAA grounds, Hamilton. The Hamilton Tigers beat the Toronto Parkdale 44-2. The second largest margin of victory in a Grey Cup final. Woohoo! So something to be proud of against Toronto once again. And then on this day in 1915, a fire destroys most of the buildings on Santa Catalina Island, California. Jumping to 1921, on this day in the Netherlands, they record their coldest day in November, minus 14 Celsius. And that's pretty darn cold for early in the winter, if you ask me, for, anywhere. So, pretty cold. Wonder if they skate on their canals there, like we do on the Rideau Canal in Ottawa. Wonder if it gets cold enough to actually freeze those canals, because as you know, the Netherlands is just water everywhere. I'll have to check that out. All right, so let's jump to 1924 on this day. The National Hockey League's Montreal Forum opens for the first time. Now let's go to 1929 on this day. American aviator Richard E. Byrd sends a message saying, "My calculations indicate that we have reached the vicinity of the South Pole." That's on this day, 1929. Going to 1933, after the, what do they call that, Prohibition? When that ended, the first state liquor stores are authorized. And the first one is in Pennsylvania for liquor stores. I think before that, you had to buy bootleg booze or drink in a bar. I don't think they had any stores that sold, liquor stores anyways. All right, so let's go to 1944 now. The Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore performs the very first open heart surgery. 1944. And also in 1944, on this day, the first surgery on the human to correct blue baby syndrome is performed by Alfred Blaylock and Vivian Thomas. And that is a result of low oxygen levels in the blood. And sometimes babies would stay blue after they were born. And so this time in 1944, they did surgery to correct that. Blue baby syndrome. Look it up. All right, 1948 on this day, the puppet TV show Kukla, Fran, and Ollie, starring Fran Allison, debuts on NBC's WNBQ in Chicago, Illinois. Kukla, Fran, and Ollie. Who remembers that? All right, a year later, in 1949 on this day, uranium mine explosions in East Germany kills 3,700 people. First time I heard of that. And 2 years later, in 1951, the first underground atomic explosion was in a place called Frenchman Flat in Nevada. Who remembers the first monkey in space? That was in 1961 on this day, and that was aboard a Mercury Atlas V rocket that carries a chimp to orbit. And the chimp's name was Enos, E-N-O-S. I don't think he survived, though. I'm not sure. Putting a poor animal through all those G-forces, that's terrible. All right, so 1 year later, in 1962, Great Britain and France decide to jointly build the Concorde supersonic airliner. Now, I heard they're building another one. I saw a quick story on that. Let's go to Major League Baseball. In 1962, on this day, Major League Baseball decides to revert to a one All-Star game per year after 4 seasons in which 2 All-Star games were played. Jump 1 year ahead to 1963 on this day. I Want to Hold Your Hand single released by the Beatles in the United Kingdom. I Want to Hold Your Hand. I remember singing that. But not in 1963, though. Okay, now this gentleman has to be certifiable. In 1965, on this day, Dale Cummings does 14,118 consecutive sit-ups. Wow, I wonder how long that took him. All right. 1972 on this day, co-founder of Atari, Nolan Bushnell, releases Pong, the first commercially successful video game in a place called Andy Cap's Tavern in Sunnyvale, California. So Pong came out in 72 on this day, and I played that many, many times, and it caught on. Yeah, Atari did well with video games, actually. I remember a buddy of mine had a console we played all the time. Okay, let's jump ahead to 1987. Joe Montana of the San Francisco 49ers completes an NFL record of 22 consecutive successful passes. And then we jump to 1994. Seoul, Korea celebrates the 600th anniversary of its founding. So Seoul, Korea is 600 years old. Jumping to 2002 on this day, we have the Concert for George, a benefit memorial to George Harrison from the Beatles, held at the Royal Albert Hall, London. And it features Eric Clapton, Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, Jeff Lynne, Tom Petty, Joe Brown, Anushka, Billy Preston, and members of Monty Python. Nice tribute for George Harrison. All right, we're almost done. In 2017, on this day, American TV host Matt Lauer is fired from NBC's Today Show after an allegation of sexual misconduct. A bunch of people got fired because of that. He's just one of them. And still, in 2017, Bosnian war criminal Slobodan Praljak commits suicide by poison in court at The Hague after 20-year prison term was read out to him. So as soon as he heard his sentence, he poisoned himself. That's back in 2017. All right. I don't know about this one, but in 2019, a wood fragment believed to be from Jesus's manger is returned to Bethlehem after 1,400 years by Pope Francis. So I'm guessing they had it at the Vatican. All right, so we're going to end things off with the year 2022. Just last year, on this day, 3 stowaways are rescued by Spanish Coast Guard after 11 days at sea, balancing on a ship's rudder from Nigeria to the Canary Islands. And so I don't know how big a boat it was, but they were riding on the ship's rudder before they were rescued. So that's it for On This Day in History. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did researching it and telling you all about it. And so with that, do we have any questions, comments, or check-ins for this week's Amateur Radio Exchange Group? All right. So with that, Bill, VE3IUK is telling me or telling us Thomas Edison took credit for inventions he was not responsible for. Yes, I agree. I just read what's what I found. But thank you for that correction, Bill. Much appreciated. So let's go to Rick, downtown Rick, VA3AXJ. Are you still there, Rick?
Yep, still here, listening away. Good net, as usual. Yeah, I'm just gonna pack it in now, I guess, and stick it in frequency. And we'll get back to you next week, or if not before. Yeah, I gotta have to order another antenna for my truck. I think I had it in Canadian Tire. They put it up in the lift. I bent the antenna. I forgot to take it off the top.
Oops.
So I think there's damage to it. But yeah, we have to look into that.
Yeah, well, you still haven't done that, eh? Well, or I remember you telling me about that last week there, I think, but you didn't tell me why. So now I know. Well, at least you didn't spend a lot of money on that one, so it's not going to burp your wallet too badly.
Yes, if I put it on low or medium power, it works. But if I put it on high, the radio just cuts out. So that's the only thing I can think of it is.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't want to be transmitting too much on it anyways, being as the SWR is probably messed up now, that it's been bent. So it's not how it was intended to be, so it's not going to perform like it's supposed to. Well, good luck with that, Rick. Happy hunting. Make sure you don't wait too long, because the closer we get to Christmas, we're probably going to get things that we'll have to wait for. I remember a few years ago there, nobody was stocking anything because of the pandemic there, and you had to wait for back orders, and oh my God. Anyways, Rick, thanks for sticking around and being part of our net. I do appreciate your check-in, my friend. You take care, and we'll talk to you sometime. I'm always monitoring here during the week, so give us a call and say hi.
Radio VA3XJ with QRT. Thanks for doing it.
Okay, Rick. And so let's go to Deb now. VA3 Oscar Yankee Lima. 7-3 round, Deb.
Okay, well, I would say, I think it was Greg. Thanks for the input for the cats. I agree. They tend to hide their illnesses, so what are you going to do? Anyway, good net, Chuck. Very informative, and I hope to catch you next Wednesday. So I'll say 7-3 to all. VA3 OYL. Almost forgot my call sign there. 7-3.
Yeah, you think that wouldn't happen, right? We say it so many times, but it does. Sometimes we get a little blip in our brain, and we're like, "Oh, what is it again?" Anyways, thanks for sticking around, and thanks for your check-in, Deb. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. Take care, and we'll talk soon. So we'll clear with VA3OYL. Next, let's go to Mac. Victor Alpha 3, Indy Mike Whiskey.
Well, great job as usual, Chuck. Great way to spend the hump day, and interesting information that you shared. That's always appreciated. And it's just in time because I was just about ready to pack it on in and get vertical. Horizontal, I mean, yeah. Get vertical and horizontal. Anyways, we'll look forward to another episode of this next Wednesday evening. And certainly appreciate everybody spreading the wealth around and supporting the local nets from Monday through Sunday. There's always something to do in Hamilton. Anyways, 7-3s, my friend. Keep up the good work. Victor Alpha 3, India, Mike Whiskey. And I do remember who I am. 7-3s.
Well, that's always good. And if you're going to sleep vertical, you'll have to go into the closet and strap yourself in so you don't fall out. Well, I'm glad I was able to be a distraction for the past couple of hours for you and everyone else. And I do appreciate your check-in and hearing from you. Take care, Mac. We'll talk soon. So we'll clear with VA3IMW, and let's check to see if Al is there. VA3 November Fox Lima. Al, 7-3 round. Okay, how about VE3KMQ? Mike, last round. Victor Echo 3, Papa Delta Lima. Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Whiskey. Chris, last round.
Yeah, Chuck, thanks very much for the net tonight. Great job on the research, as always. And 73 to you and to everybody else on frequency tonight. Maybe look forward to dropping in again next week. Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu, Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Whiskey. 73, Chuck.
Okay, Chris, thanks for sticking around and joining our net. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Take care, my friend. We'll talk again soon, hopefully. Next, let's go to Bill, VE3I UK. Thank you for your check-in, sir, on YouTube. Much appreciated. And next, we have Rick, Victor Echo 3, Bravo Kilowatt. Okay, nothing heard. I'd also like to thank VA3 Fox Mike Bravo, Wayne in Mississauga. Thanks for checking in, Wayne. Take care. Enjoy the rest of the week. How about Thomas? Let's see if he's still awake. VE3 Charlie Echo Uniform.
Victor Echo 3 Golf Bravo Delta.
Yes, sir, George. We were going to get right to you there. Come on in. How'd you make out?
I just jumped back in the truck here and just wanted to do my 73s because I can't find it. So I just jumped in the truck and I'm gonna 7-3s.
Okay, George. You may have better luck tomorrow when there's actual daylight. It might help you a little bit there. You'd be amazed at what actual sunlight can do. So good luck with that, George. Thanks for checking in, my friend. I do appreciate it. You take care. Enjoy the rest of the evening. We'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just gonna go. I'll probably hit New Tech and see if they have any, and I'll just buy a bunch of them.
Absolutely. All right, George, good luck. Let us know how you make out. So we'll clear with VE3 GBD, And let's see if Gary is still with us. VE3JGK.
NFG.
Okay, I heard Victor Alpha 3, November Foxtrot Golf. A late check-in from Steve. Come on in, Steve.
Good evening there, Chuck, and everybody who still may be on net. Just got in the door from work in 8 hours today.
Oh.
I am off tomorrow, so I drove somebody home tonight. They were saying something about a solar flare, so I hope that doesn't throw my day off tomorrow. I'm gonna be looking forward to staying home and staying warm. So, yep, that's about it, Chuck. Just I'm not even turning the HF radio on tonight. I'm too tired to get into it. I just thought I'd come on here and give you a check-in. We're listening to you on the way home, but I'm listening to you through a bullfan, and it was spotty at that, so I didn't bother trying to check in. But anyway, yeah, that's all I got there for now, Chuck. Thanks for doing the net, buddy, and we'll let you get back on to the 7-3 round, VA3 NFG.
Okay, thank you, Steve. And yes, not one, but 3 of them. I read a story about the space weather lady there saying we had not 1, not 2, but 3 of them. And by the weekend, I think by Friday, hopefully tomorrow, though, you might have some luck, but you'll have to wait and see, I guess, just like the rest of us. But thanks again, Steve. Glad you made it home after another long, hard shift at work. And so now you can relax. And we'll probably talk to you tomorrow, my friend. Thanks again.
Yep, that you will. And I'm off this weekend too, so I hope the bands are okay. But yep, we'll probably catch you all tomorrow, no doubt. I'm gonna shut her down after the net here and retire to the bed there. So have a good one, and 7-3 to everybody that's still listening. VA3 NFG. Ciao for now.
All right, ciao. So let's try Gary again. VE3JGK. Last round. Gary, you there? All right. How about Wade? Victor Alpha 3, November Charlie Alpha 7-3 round.
Victor Alpha 3, VA3 CJZ, VA3 NCA, missed the foot pedal there. Yeah, good evening, Chuck. Thanks for another great way to spend a Wednesday. And yeah, hope everybody's doing well, and I'll definitely be here for next week. And so 7-3 to all, and to all a good night. VA3 NCA.
Okay, Wade. Take care. Hope your rest of the week goes smoothly, and we'll hear you on probably one of the bands somewhere. Take care, Wade. Whenever you get a chance to get, I know you said Wednesday was the only time you had this week to get on. So hope you enjoyed yourself as much as I did. So we'll clear with VA3 NCA. And I'd also like to say hi to Mike from Arkansas, Kilo India 5, Sierra Papa Alpha, checking in on YouTube. I do appreciate it, Michael. Hope everything is well with you. And so let's go to VE3 LBI. Larry, last round.
Yep, thanks, Chuck. Thanks for doing it. Appreciate it. And listen along to the end there. So interesting. Have a good evening. 7-3 all.
Okay, Larry, thanks for your check-in and sticking around. Do appreciate it. Let's see if RPAD is available. Victor Echo 3, November Whiskey on the portable.
Yeah, Chuck, I'm here. Just parking the car at Pizza.
going to have a slice of pizza. And then I'll go over to Tim Hortons to have a coffee. Why not, right?
Yeah.
Thank you very much to run the net. Hopefully you can hear me just using the handy walkie-talkie with the rubber ducky antenna.
Oh yeah, I can hear you fine. No problem over here. Um, almost full strength. A little bit of moving around and a little bit of slight noise, but you're full quieting, Arpad. Doing a good job. Thanks for coming back, and enjoy the rest of the evening with your pizza and coffee. You know, I could eat pizza at least once a day. I just love that stuff.
Yeah, and you know what? This pizza place, the only place where I don't have a heartburn. If I eat the pizza from somewhere else, I don't know what they put in the olive oil or something. I don't know. It gives me a heartburn. But then I like the garlic sauce, what they give you.
Oh yeah. That's like me. I love green peppers, but green peppers give me heartburn there or acid reflux, and so it never used to, but it does now. But still, I'd eat it if it was on a pizza. I would not pick it off. But anyway, enjoy Arpad, and that handheld is working just fine.
Yeah, 73. Yeah, thank you very much to running the net.
Okay, my pleasure as always. And so, like I mentioned earlier, if I am a good distraction for you for 2 hours once a week, then I'm happy. And so, with that, I'd also like to say thank you to Downtown Richard, VA3VJC. You're gonna have to get yourself. You're gonna have to ask Santa to get you a bowfang or something for Christmas, there, my friend. And so we love hearing you on the air. I know Mac loves hearing your quick wit and sarcasm. He's all about sarcasm. Anyways, and with that, we already spoke to Steve, VA3NFG. And so let's see if we got any last minute check ins before we close the net. This is VA3CJZ with the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. Looking for any last minute check ins. Please come now. Okay, nothing heard. And so with that, it is 9:57 p.m. Still reading, actually, it's reading minus 0.3. So it's at the freezing mark outside. I don't know what the wind is, but it's coolish. I can guarantee you that. So I'd like to thank each and every one of you for checking in, sticking around, giving us your feedback, how your week has been going. And so I look forward to doing it again next week here on the same bat channel, same bat time. And take care. Enjoy the rest of the week. And we have less than 4 weeks before Christmas. So time to do your shopping. With that, take care. 7-3 all. This is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu saying so long. 7-3.
7-3, Chuck. Looks like I missed my 73 round. Be 3VK. Good net.
Yeah, no problem, Rick. I did call you a couple times there, I think. But do you have anything else to add there, Rick?
No, just 73 to everybody on frequency, and thanks to Mac for doing this schedule like he usually does. And anybody's welcome in on the net on Monday night at 8 o'clock at 3.693 if you have HF. And that's about it. Nothing else. They got a new repeater up on the 440 for the Hamilton Club V3NCF. And it's putting out quite a good power there on 444.075. So anybody wants to try it out, give us a report there. And of course, the website's hamiltonarc.com, so we can always send some kind of report in to see. But apparently, they've been around and done testing on distance, and it's been heard quite well. But we were having trouble for a long time with that 440 machine, and it's pretty well gave up the ghost here So they got a new one, a commercial one, Tate. It's called the Tate made in New Zealand, and it'll put out 50 watts at 100% duty cycle. Really good repeater.
Wow.
So anyway, they've got it at about 40 watts, something like that. So the coverage should be quite a bit better for a lot of people. And it wasn't very good there for a while, but the All Stars all working on it, and I think he was moving the Equilink back from the 2 meter to the 440 side. I'm not sure about that though.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, yeah, too bad Gary Nato's not on here. I think I heard you call him. You called it Gary. I'm not sure if you meant Gary Nato.
Yeah.
Gary Nato was involved with the setup, and him and Peter did a great job. So that's about it for me. And great net. I always look forward to that. And I was here listening along, even though when it came to the 73 round, I was on the wrong radio. Must come with age here. Anyway, you know what I mean. My dual bander, I was on the wrong side, so that happened. Chuck, BA3 CJZ B3 BK.
Yeah, not a problem there, Rick. I understand. And we had two Garys check in tonight, and Gary Nato did check in, VE3 TTO, and he stopped in. You must have missed him.
Yeah, Roger. Well, he did a great job. They did it on the weekend. Oh, also announcement, VE3 FDK. He's moved to St. Catharines, so you won't hear him locally on the repeaters around here anymore. But he just turned 90 on Saturday. So they had a do for him at the Police Association. He was a summons officer at the end. There before he retired, he had more than one job during his lifetime, but he turned 90, so he was in great form, and a lot of people there to see him on Saturday. They're on Upper Wellington there, all right.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Geez, I could only wish I could make it up to 90 there. So something to look forward to. Okay, Rick. Well, thank you for all that extra information there. Much appreciated, and I'm glad the move with the repeaters has gone well, and the 440 machine seems to be working better at its new location there, and I look forward to testing it out.
Well, it's like ham radio. Like I told somebody here about my antennas. It's a work in progress. I mean, what year did you put that in? I don't know, because we're always changing things. So I think most hams are like that, Chuck.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the move, it went well, and a few people were having a tough time at first, but getting into it. But it seems to have worked out for the better. So I'm glad. I'm glad that's all working good. So we have some pretty good repeaters here in Hamilton, and let's use them.
Oh yeah, and this All-Star opened my eyes. All-Star, you can connect one repeater to multiple nodes, and we got Reg on there. Reg is on there on Friday nights, although he's not there right now. He's in Indonesia. But Reg comes on now on NCF 2 meters, and so worldwide, time travel, as Reg says, hey. So yeah, it's pretty neat, that All-Star, and we can thank Peter V3XLQ for all his work on that. But yeah, we definitely have some good repeaters in the area, and the move. I mean, our coverage isn't quite as good because we're not up on the mountain anymore, but it's still pretty good, pretty reasonable, and it's more of a down home Hamilton where it is at. So just off the bay. Anyway, okay, Chuck, great job again, and I definitely with that, 73, and good to hear you. VA3 CJZ, V3 BK.
Okay, Rick, thanks again, my friend. Always a pleasure. And so, with that, before we close up, let's see if there are any stragglers out there that would like to check into the Amateur Radio Exchange Group Net, AREG. This is VA3 CJZ. Anyone, anywhere, please come now.
VA3 COF, Damien in Hamilton.
VA3 COF, Damien in Hamilton. Come on in, sir. You are check-in number 21 tonight. How are things?
Yeah, doing well tonight. I sort of was listening a little earlier and then had some errands to do, so I just put it back on for the end of the net, and yeah, thought I'd just check my check-in there and wish you all the best. Not much going on in my household at the moment. Just spent the last couple of days working from home to avoid a bit of weather, but yeah, apart from that, all's going well. Over.
Oh, very good there, Damien. Yeah, I think we're all going to be looking at things to do indoors or in the garage through these next few months of darkness. We won't be getting much sunlight, and it does go down early when it is out. So a lot of indoor projects to consider. And so stay warm, stay healthy, and thank you for your check-in there, Damien. Much appreciated, sir. Okay, anyone else out there wishing to check in, any late check-ins for the AREG net, please come now.
V3XKV.
VE3XKV, that call sign sounds familiar. Bob, VE3XKV, VA3CJZ. Come on in, Bob.
Hello, Chuck. Sorry about keeping you late there, but
that's okay.
I just heard Rick on there and mentioning the Hamilton Club repeaters, and I do get them, both of them out here, probably around 10 S units, with my antenna 10 feet off the ground here. And
3 meters.
Also, I don't know whether you're aware that there's two Hamilton repeaters up on the new CHCH tower at the 600-foot mark there, UHM, I think, and OBP, the 440 and 2 meters. So yeah, that's right in my backyard. I can see the tower from my place here. So yeah, it's only a couple of miles down the road. So anyway, I just sorry for coming in late there, Chuck, but that should give you number 22, if I'm correct, the E3XTV.
Yeah. Hey, no worries there, Bob. No worries. I don't have to take a break just yet, but I will soon. And yes, you're absolutely right. You are number 22. That's our average is usually around 15. So we had a great night tonight. It was great hearing everybody checking in there. So how are things with you and the wife? Good?
Oh yeah, things are moving along, and you know, it's just it's all life, and there's no point complaining. We can discuss, but there's no point complaining there, Chuck.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the wife this morning, my wife, Renata, said she was going to go out and see if she can get her tires switched out. And I was thinking, well, good luck, but at least it's not during a big snowstorm. But she did go in the morning, and they basically told her, we're done taking people in for the day. We'll be, we got everyone working. We're booked all the way through the day, so come back tomorrow type thing.
Yeah, everybody's busy, you know. That's the same with, I want to get my furnace checked out, cleaned. And yeah, it's a couple of weeks in the works, which I'm lucky. I've had it at times where, you know, you had to wait a whole month, you know, because everybody wants to get their furnace checked out. You know, it's that time of year. But as far as snow tires, well, you know, I usually do them myself here in the driveway, but I haven't been able to do that in the last couple of years. So my sons have been doing it, and I've been fortunate that they've taken the time to do that. So, yeah. Anyway, I just will say 73 to everybody on the net here. I did listen on and off there, Chuck, and so we'll just say good evening, and it was a pleasure and professional job there, Chuck, as always. The 3CJZ, the E3XKB.
Oh, well, thank you so much there, Bob. That means a lot. I try my best, and I'm happy it's recognized. And so it's always a pleasure talking to you. We'll have to do it on the phone there soon. And I haven't seen the insect email yet. That made me laugh, what you put on there. So I'll have to check that out tomorrow when I have a bit of time there. So, yeah, we had a plumber come over today and had to swap. Actually, we got a whole new tap system for the bathroom. I told the guy, you know, my wife has carpal tunnel and it's hard to shut off the hot water and this and that, and it's leaking. And so he gave us a single handle tap there instead of the two, hot and cold. And so much, much easier. And I think if I hadn't have said anything, he probably would have changed out the spleens or whatever you call those, you know, the rubber inside the tap there. And so we got a brand new tap.
Well, that's great. That's great. Yeah, I know what you mean. I still got a few of those around here, especially for the ones that are for the outside taps. I got two of those for the outside, and every once in a while you got to change the seals on them, and yeah, you got to crank them down pretty good when you go to shut them off, because they tend to drip and leak. But yeah, those new single handle ones, you just, you know, you can just do one finger and move them wherever you want. Yeah. They're like a Teflon ball. I think they're on the inside there, and it's got ports in it just direct for hot or cold or mixed. Yeah. I know what you mean. My wife's got the same thing, the same problem with her one wrist. So, okay, Chuck, I'll let you go now. And again, it was a pleasure. And just hi to everybody. I never did get on to say hi, but 73 VE3XKB.
All right, Bob. Again, it is always a pleasure talking to you, and as well as everyone else on the net. And so 22 check-ins tonight. That's great. So can't wait to hear you all again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. This is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu, closing this week's Amateur Radio Exchange Group. Thank you all. 7-3.